Have you ever found yourself sitting alone in a quiet room? The world outside keeps moving, but inside everything has stopped. It's just you and a heavy silence filled with questions that have no answers. Maybe you lost someone you love, or a dream slipped through your fingers. In these moments, life feels like a story with missing pages. You wonder, why? Why is this happening to me? This is where we meet one of the oldest stories ever told, the story of Job. His tale is not about easy answers or simple miracles. It looks directly into the heart of suffering, acknowledging that sometimes good people face terrible things. The book of Job is a journey filled with heartache and raw emotion, but also with stubborn hope. It explores the space between what we believe and what we experience. It's a story that says your pain is real, your questions are valid, and even when you feel alone, you are not. Someone has walked this path before. Let's walk with Job for a while, listening to his story as a companion for our own difficult times. We will see a man who had everything, lost it all, and dared to ask God the hardest questions. His journey might not give us all the answers, but it might give us the courage to keep holding on, to keep faith even when walking through the storm. Before the storm, Job's life was like a perfect sunny day. He was blameless and upright, a good person who loved God. Respected by his community, his wisdom was a guide for others. His life was a picture of peace and prosperity. He was wealthy with vast herds and fertile land, but his greatest treasure was his family, 7 sons and 3 daughters. His home was filled with laughter and celebration. Job was grateful for his blessings and honored God in all he did. He was known for his generosity, caring for the poor and needy. His life followed a simple rule: do good, receive good. This was Job's reality, a life of faith, family, and fortune. He had every reason to believe his life would continue on a smooth path, but he could not have known that a storm was gathering. A storm so fierce it would sweep away everything he held dear, leaving him with nothing but questions and a heart searching for answers. Then, without warning, the sky fell. Job's perfect day turned into the darkest night imaginable. News came in waves, each more devastating than the last. Raiders stole his livestock and killed his servants. Fire from the sky burned his sheep and shepherds. His fortune vanished like a mirage. But the worst news was yet to come. A mighty wind collapsed the house where his children were feasting. All 10 of his children were gone in an instant. Job's response was extraordinary. He tore his robe in grief, shaved his head, and fell to the ground. But he did not curse God. Instead, he worshipped, saying, "The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised." His faith, though tested, held firm. Job's suffering continued with painful sores covering his body. He sat in ashes, scraping his wounds with broken pottery. His wife urged him to curse God and die, but Job refused. His friends, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar, came to comfort him. They sat with him in silence for 7 days, sharing his grief. But when they spoke, their words were thorns, blaming Job for his suffering. Job refused his friends' simple answers, knowing his own heart. He argued with them, defending his integrity. More than that, he spoke directly to God. His prayers were raw and honest, filled with pain. He demanded an audience with the Almighty, asking why he was suffering. Job's faith was not about pretending everything was okay. It was about wrestling with God, not turning away. His conversations with God were a mix of complaint and trust. He believed in a Redeemer who would stand for him. He held on, believing that God would eventually show up. His courage was in having a persistent faith. He kept the conversation going, even in silence. He refused to let go. After all arguments were exhausted, God spoke from a whirlwind. He did not give Job the answers he demanded. Instead, God asked questions, expanding Job's perspective. He described a world larger and more complex than Job imagined. God reminded Job that the universe does not revolve around one man's experience. Job realized he had been speaking of things he did not understand. His need for an explanation faded, replaced by awe. He had wanted answers, but received a personal encounter with the divine. The who was enough. After his encounter with God, Job's posture changed to humility and peace. He repented for his limited view of God. God restored Job's life, blessing him more than before. He was given double the wealth and a joyful family. Job's faith was now forged in fire, rooted in a personal encounter with God. For anyone in a quiet, lonely room, Job's story is a beacon of hope. It tells us it's okay to cry and question. Our pain does not go unseen. Even the longest night will give way to dawn. Your story is not over.